Well, hello, and thank you so much for joining us for episode 9, holy shit, of Waterdeep Dragon Heist, hosted by Variant Roles. My name is Eugenio Vargas. I use he, him pronouns, and I am also known as your friendly neighborhood dungeon master, DM Jazzy Hands, from the actual play podcast, The Last Refuge. Let's go around and introduce the rest of this evening's players. Let's start over here to my, what side is that? Right, which means I have to turn left, with Allison. Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. My name's Allison. Me and my character are she, her pronouns, and I play Anivel Rothkama, the half-orc barbarian who summons spirits.
Apparently so. And how about you, Jonathan? How are you doing this week?
Hey, I'm Jonathan. I play Realgar Rocky Kvaranamaki, the monk bouncer character, and myself and my character also use he, him pronouns.
Forgot your name there for a minute because we missed you last week. Welcome back.
Yes, thank you. Glad to be here.
All right,
mostly
Steven.
the same.
Yeah, mostly the same. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. I play Rowan Tossgobble Porchpot. There's a hyphen between Tossgobble and Porchpot. I'm a halfling bard, although I really prefer the word hin, and both of us use he, him pronouns.
9 weeks and counting, and I still giggle. Fantastic. Max, how are you?
I'm doing good, and I'm loving this Brady Bunch thing you're up to here.
I'm really into it. I've been meaning to do it for weeks, and this is the first time I remembered.
So I'm Max. I use he, him pronouns. My character Theron, the Eladrin with the blessing of Corlon, is for all intents and purposes they, them for this episode and for the foreseeable future, I guess.
Fantastic. And last but most certainly not least, our Chaos Monkey. Alex, how are you?
I'm doing well. Hello, everyone. My name is Alex. I am she, her, as does my character Silme, our silver-skinned tiefling rogue who summons bad decisions.
Very good. Very good. I love it. So thanks so much for joining us this week. We are 9 weeks in. I imagine that most of you have probably seen at least one of these before, but I'm going to go through the rigmarole anyway. We are one of 4 teams here with variant roles that are running through Wizards of the Coast's second to newest published adventure, Waterdeep Dragon Heist. All 4 teams are running through the adventure separately, although they are all connected in some way, shape, or form, which we are probably going to see a little more of tonight. The other streams happen on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights. So Thursday, Friday nights, and Saturday afternoons. So check them out. But right now, you are here with the Winter Crew. Last week, the Winter Crew continued their investigation into a fireball that exploded outside their new-ish establishment, the Fighting Spirits, just a few days before. After a few false starts, they finally caught the trail of the Nimblewright, a construct from the Temple of Gond that was responsible for the fireball. They chased it across the city and finally found it near one of the walking statues. With the help of Reggie, their drunken dwarf employee, they managed to destroy the construct. In doing so, they found a map that seems to indicate the next step of their investigation, which now turns from the fireball to the reason behind it, a powerful artifact called the Stone of Golorr, which is said to contain information about the whereabouts of a great horde of gold dragons, the money, not the creatures, that would be bad, that was embezzled from the city of Waterdeep by its previous open lord, Dagault Neverember. Several folks seem to be hot on the trail of this stone, and that group now may include our adventures. But before we go chasing off after treasure maps, I believe there are a few things that we need to have a quick conversation about. The first of which is, so you all came back the night before with Reggie and the remains of this construct, and it was very late, and Reggie was very drunk, and you all sort of said, we'll deal with this in the morning. And so Reggie sort of stumbled off home, and you all finished the evening. And so we are first thing in the morning, and I assume that you all have collected, minus Rocky, who was out sick the day before. He's not yet arrived, but the rest of you are presumably, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but meeting in the sort of common space at the Fighting Spirit. Some of you are staying nights there, some of you are not, but at any rate, in the morning, you all sort of gather again. And Theron, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you come downstairs, and yet again, we are greeted with a new visage.
Well, first off, Theron doesn't just come downstairs. Theron bursts out of the room, firing fireworks out of their fingertips, finger gun style, bang, 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 with a black eye and a fat lip. Slides down the banister. Whoa! All right, what are we going to do today? This is going to be interesting. Hi.
Totally my mistake, and I'm so glad that we corrected it, because that was amazing.
Just to stop the confusion, Theron, Summer, let's do this.
Oh, would that all 4 seasons were so straightforward.
We could walk over to Annie, give her a good...
Theron!
Just one moment. Where's Annie? Where is Annie?
Yeah, coming up from the basement, probably in the smithy. What? What's
Elbow
all the
drop!
noise?
Just elbow drop right onto Annie.
Oh God. I think make a strength athletics check, both of you. Oh, you either crit or rolled a 1. I'm not sure which, Theron.
Well, with the -1, it's a 4.
Annie.
Yeah, strength. Oh, strength check is a 20.
Okay, so tell me how exactly you avoid Theron's elbow drop.
I could just bounce.
Actually, can I just like have my arm out and like do like an arm bar instead?
Oh.
Yes. Yes, you can.
Yep, that's what I do.
Amazing.
So, what the? About.
I had to pay you back for last night. I mean, it was messy business, but it had to be done. Thank you. Look, I changed.
Wait, you did that on purpose?
Yeah. Why else would I come into your room and knock over your chess set? I only seem to come out of winter when I have either been pummeled within an inch of my life, or I have just a relaxing night, and Syl was a little busy or something. She didn't answer her door, so I came to you.
Right, now that I know that, next time, just talk to me, Theron, and because now I don't feel bad about the armbar I just hit you with, so...
You would have gone easy on me if I told you what I was there for.
At that moment, the front door of the Fighting Spirit opens, and your previously absent and ill friend Rocky is there.
Rocky.
He kind of stumbles in, has his arm kind of poof on the door jam. What's going on here?
Hey, are you feeling better?
Yeah. What day is it?
That's a really good question.
That's actually a really good question.
I don't know.
Oh, good. I thought it was just me who didn't know.
Yeah, we don't know, actually. We got your note, Rocky.
Talk about a glitch in the Matrix.
A note, yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, okay. All right, so it's been quite a couple days for me. How has it been for you guys?
Oh.
Well,
We killed the robot.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, we did.
Kill the robot? Okay.
Destroyed the robot.
Destroyed it.
Well, we kind of just confused it to death.
It just sort of lost it and just kind of exploded, and it was
You can do that?
not on purpose.
You can confuse something to death?
I guess so.
Oh no, we might be doing it right now to Rocky. Hang
I
on.
have to watch my back.
Well, I would never do it to you, ever.
I think it was kind of a team effort. Rowan was the creator, and I turned into that dragonborn bitch.
Huh. Well, I still don't get it, but I'm afraid of getting more confused. So let's move on past that. What are we doing today?
I have to, and he kind of looks around the room. I have to perform that ritual thing that I've been dancing around. I don't have to do it right now, but I definitely have to do it soon, especially if we're going to be going and getting into trouble.
We're getting into trouble?
Well, I think so. We found a treasure map.
Yeah, we got a treasure map.
Yeah, I know, right? It's even got like an X on it and everything.
Yeah, we need to go find treasure. It might be troublesome.
Right. It sounds like maybe now is a good time to do this ritual.
Sounds like it's good that I got here, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're good to have you back, Rocky. Yeah, and I like punch him on the shoulder. Yeah.
For probably the first time, he actually... Wonder where that bruise came from.
Yeah, because I was stronger. With my first 2 knuckles.
Okay, I guess let's get to it.
Okay. Well, maybe let's go up to the library just so we can have a little bit of privacy and
Yes.
Hey, you don't want to do it down here?
Patrons just walk in the middle of a summoning ritual.
It might be. It might get me burned or arrested or something because of the connotations. Well, it's going to be kind of creepy. Just everyone try to just be okay and keep calm.
Let's go, big brother. I cannot wait.
Okay. Let's do this. Up to the library, everyone.
All right.
As we all go up the stairs, I'll just I'll kind of grab Sill's hand just a little bit and pull her back behind the rest of the group. Like, hey, we don't have to go into this right now, but I'm really glad that we were able to help you out at that house. And you had me pretty nervous.
You had me pretty nervous there, big man. You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm better now. Had some things I have to work out, but let's like I said, we can talk about this later. Let's get going.
I just give him a kiss on the cheek.
Oh, go. Yeah, all right.
Thanks.
That's enough cuteness. Let's go upstairs.
Come in.
I just want to put out Theron's new look is gold hair, bronze skin, and brass eyes.
Ooh, I like the brass eyes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we get upstairs, and Rowan, I think maybe why don't you go? Well, first, why don't you go ahead and describe the setup that we have ready for this little moment?
So it is just he's setting up 5 candles that are kind of in a circle around each other, and he's cleared out some space in the middle, and he'll close the windows and shutter them and stuff, and make sure that the door's closed, and so that no one's going to be peeking in, hopefully, or stumbling in drunk like Reggie. And then he'll just stand in front of them, and he'll wait until everyone gets comfortable, and then he'll start speaking in this harsh, guttural language with his fingers kind of moving and playing the air like he was moving against an invisible musical instrument.
And so I would like to use thaumaturgy and make some whispers.
just for effect.
Yeah.
All right, great. So whispers begin to fill the room as Rowan, and this language is disturbing. It's exactly what you described, Rowan, but it gets at the core of all of you, right? There's just something unnatural and wrong about it, and you can feel that even in just the language itself. And as these whispers sort of begin to swirl about the room, which, I don't know, Theron, you probably caught Syl doing a little spell casting because you sort of know what that looks like. But then other things start to happen, right? As the whispers and the chanting go on, each of the candles sort of one by one pops to life counterclockwise in the circle. And once those are all lit, lines begin to form in between the candles, and these runes sort of glow in the various spaces made by these lines. All of them are this sort of bright red, like the color of freshly spilled blood. And shadows, the shadows from the candle lights are already sort of flickering back and forth, and it's all very creepy. It's also raining really hard here. I don't know if you can all hear it. It's super fucking creepy. The candlelight already creates sort of dancing shadows in the room, but they start to seem to move outside of the movement of the candle lights themselves. And eventually you realize that they're sort of growing, these shadows are sort of growing up the walls of the room and looming over you. And then at one moment, they all sort of dive in to the center of this circle and create this shadowy orb in the center of this circle of candles. What else, Rowan? What else do we sense? What else do we see?
It kind of starts to form a shape, like a tall feminine shape with wide outstretched wings that then condenses and becomes denser and more solid the smaller that it gets. And it finally coalesces into a tiny creature with clawed hands and leathery wings outstretched. She has black, chitinous, reflective skin, 2 small horns between pointed ears, and a long tail ending in a hooked stinger. She's wearing black and brown leathers that are styled in a very lovely feminine fashion and accented with a lot of golden jewelry. Her wings kind of curl around her in a cloak-like manner, and she opens her eyes, which are just this stark white without veins or pupils.
I think at the moment that she sort of opens her eyes, the room is just filled with this smell of brimstone and smoke, rotting eggs and burning oil. And you're sort of all 5 of your senses are attacked at once.
And she opens her mouth, and her teeth are like these tiny little needly pointy teeth. And she says, Rowan Toscobble Porchpot, I am hereby bound by name to your service until death or dismissal. Now then, Silme, Railgar, Rowan, come here and give your Auntie Hasha a hug.
Oh, Hasha. And
Holds her arms out.
Rowan, she forgot the hyphen.
Biggest squeeze, Auntie.
Yes. Oh, you look so lovely, darling.
Thanks, Auntie.
Railgar, you've gotten so big.
You always say that.
Well, introduce me to your friends.
Well, this stunned one over here is Theron.
Hello. You may call me Hasha, if you like.
Okay. I'll do Hasha. Hasha's good, yes.
Careful, she bites.
Please. I believe you.
I do on occasion.
I will do nothing to provoke a bite.
Never hurt, though.
And who are you, my dear? You look like you're excellent at murder. I can be sensing all sorts of pent-up aggression.
Oh, it's that obvious. Yeah, of course. Let's go kill some things. I'm Annie.
Best
Wonderful to meet you. I'm sure we'll get along famously.
I think we will. Wink.
Oh, this is. Oh, no. Oh, I didn't.
Okay. Well, Rowan will say, "Well, I think we're all done here. Thanks. Thank you, everybody. And I guess we're ready to move on with the stuff that we need to attend to."
Just as if we didn't just go through the creepiest damn ritual summoning you've ever seen. Yeah,
I'm not forgetting it.
3 times ago was way creepier, so it's okay.
Eugenio, I still may understood that ritual, didn't she?
Oh, 100%.
Cool. I'll just kneel down next to Rowan and be like, "You're gonna have to give me that recipe you just spouted off."
In fact, why don't you make me a, and you were prepared for it, I think. So why don't you make me a charisma deception check with advantage?
Oh yeah.
Both of you.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Not great.
Okay, tell me.
12.
Okay, still.
15.
Okay, I'm going to go look at your sheets and look at your passive insights, everybody, because I think actually you might have. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so Annie and Rocky, there was something a little fishy about that ceremony. Like, it just seemed a little extra. I mean, Hasha's for sure real and there, but like something about that ceremony is a little fishy.
How did she know my name? I want to know that first and foremost. If we've never met, she introduced herself to me with my name.
Can I just say in Infernal, it's because she has your soul now?
Well, to be fair, I've only recently been bound to Rowan, but I have been keeping an eye on all of you from afar. Spying, I suppose, if I'm being completely honest. I hope you don't mind.
Yeah. Not this season, no. So we're going to, break up the robot and take Hasha out? Is that going to be okay taking... What sort of creature are you?
Oh, I am an imp. An imp of the Sword Legion, to be specific. Well, ex-Sword Legion.
Now, is it going to be okay taking an imp of the Sword Legion to the Temple of Gond?
Oh, it won't be any problem, dear. And she just turns invisible.
Oh, that's handy.
You can, kind of hear her flapping around a little.
All right, fantastic. I love this. We're going to move on. So we have Hasha with us. We've got Rocky back. We have Summer Theron. I think the next thing that you all had mentioned last week that you wanted to sort of deal with was there were several folks that had requested information about the Nimble Right once you'd sort of figured things out and taken care of it. So the three people that I remember you talking about wanting to go to were Valletta, the priestess of Gond at the House of Inspired Hands, who'd offered you a monetary reward if you were able to bring back proof of the Nimblewright's destruction. And then I believe you also wanted to just give some information about what had happened to Sergeant Crowley of the Watch and to Devil Starsong of the Zentarum. Did I miss anybody?
No, I think that's it.
Nope, that sounds good.
So I think they head to Valletta, because we want to get that back to Nim, something to remember his friend by.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. All right. So Sergeant Crowley and Davil can be pretty quick. I mean, if there's anything significant that you want to not tell either of them, that's fine. But they will otherwise just sort of take that information and run with it in their own ways. Is there anything in particular that you don't want to tell either?
Did we
Davil
want to
Crowley?
leave out the fact that we went hunting for this thing?
The timing we probably are a little bit vague about, and we can also
go ahead.
Not mention the map that we're going to be
definitely
looking around.
Definitely. Okay, I will say that when you get into the watch post where Crowley is, he actually looks pleased to see you is perhaps an overstatement. But you do walk in and he does sort of seem glad to see you because he wanted to let you know that he'd spoken with his superiors and apparently somebody, and he has an idea of who, pulled some strings, and he was told in no uncertain terms to allow you all to be independent contractor consultants for the duration of your investigation, but your leash is only as long as this investigation. So anything outside of the investigation into the Nimblewright and the Fireball is not covered, and don't think that you're suddenly part of the watch.
Oh, sure.
So would we just go, wonderful, and just drop the arm on the table?
Yeah, basically. And he's like, huh? Oh. Right. Great. Okay, so those two take that information. They thank you. You definitely, I'm not sure how, Crowley offers you the position as consultants. Davil sort of is, he is well inclined to provide a favor in the future should something come up. Your relationship with him and his organization already was sort of that of commodity, right? Like you were going back and forth and sort of doing things for each other. So this just solidifies, like, he kind of owes you for that information. And of course tells you, anything else that you happen to find out, he would love to hear about, because it does seem that the other Zentarum faction is in some way involved, and that directly affects him.
Right.
All right, so that's those two. Let's spend a little time now over at the House of Inspired Hands, which is the Temple of Gond, where you all have been once before, though your entrance was less than calm, and your stay there was less than courteous.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So you go back to this sort of workshop temple and you walk in somewhat more calmly. And again, the main sort of hall, which you now see a little placard above that is called the Hall of Exemplary Inventions, has a bunch of these pedestals that have all of these different creations atop them, which you can, of course, look at if you like, but you're there for a purpose. So tell me what the plan is, dare I ask?
Plan.
Yeah, just look at Rowan. I'm like, you better take this.
Yeah, no. I'll just go up to anyone who looks like they're official, like the priests look different from just normal people who are coming in wandering around, and ask to speak to the specific person, and say why we're here and that she'll be expecting us. And
absolutely. So they do seem to, everyone that works there seems to have heard of you all, and they look a little nervous. But one of the acolytes sort of runs off to fetch Valletta.
Thank you.
And it takes her a few minutes. So as you're sort of looking around this hall of exemplary inventions, there are a few things that stand out that I really enjoy. There is a miniature model of a little red submarine that's shaped like a manta ray, that has a brass plate affixed to its pedestal that says Lantanese Submersible, launched in 1489 DR, and it's named the Scarlet Marpenoth.
Wow.
It just makes me laugh.
I love this.
Like Marpen Noth?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
it's a month. It's the 10th month of the year in the Forgotten Realms. I know everyone's now at this point heard the joke, but I just think it's really funny. Anyway, all right. Lady Valletta comes down, and she she greets you. She says hello, and then she just she's like, "Come upstairs. We're not doing this here."
Okay. What does this do? What does this do?
Yeah, exactly. She takes you upstairs to sort of a private chamber, and she again greets you, and I think she says, "I am glad to hear that you are back. I can only assume that this means that you have news of the errant Nimblewright for me."
News.
Yes. We found it, and it fought against us, and we weren't able to take it intact, so we were forced to destroy it, and we have brought remains back as requested.
She flinches a little bit, and you can tell that, in that she is a priestess of Gond, and inventions are sacred. She is a little sad about this, but also this thing is wreaking havoc across the city, so it's fine.
Well, I'm super sad about it too, so I get it.
So you just whip out the head, or do you whip out the what are you whipping out here?
I think everything except minus one arm.
Okay, great. She definitely notices and says, "Excellent. What happened to its second arm?"
Completely destroyed it.
Ah, yes. She's not even going to question it at this point. She says, "Well, I thank you very much. We cannot have creations of this temple running amok in the city. It is not good for the image, if you understand what I mean." She
Yes,
says, "I believe that
is what we're worried about.
She says, "Well, I do believe that I promised you all a monetary compensation." And she picks out a fairly good-sized sack, and hands it to, well, I guess who handed her the carcass?
Well, I just threw it in front of her.
Okay, I guess she'll hand it to you.
Oh. Yeah, okay.
She says, "For your troubles," and she says, "And as a show of good faith, and an additional thank you from the temple, because I understand that our last meeting was not, it did not end on the friendliest of notes, and I regret my part in that. And so I would like to thank you all with a few gifts from the temple." Ooh. And she goes into a sort of cabinet, and she starts just pulling out some crazy looking bits and bobs. And she brings them over, and she starts demonstrating these things to you. So the first thing are these two little they look like sticks almost, that have these leather straps on them, and she sort of demonstrates how you can attach them to your legs, and then she pushes a little button, and these things shoot out and become these 4-foot long stilts that you can walk around on.
I can say we give them to Rocky.
Yeah. So she offers you the stilts. Then she brings out a sort of, it looks like a backpack. It is a backpack, but it's sort of clearly super stuffed. Whatever's in there is taking up every amount of possible space. And she explains that if you're wearing this, they call it a parachute. And if you're wearing this, you can deploy it and have it make you fall more slowly so that you don't get injured. She says she doesn't recommend using it or deploying it if you don't have a good bit of space around you, or if you're falling from less than 60 feet. But anything taller than that with plenty of space it'll definitely save you some pain.
Ghost Crew's going base jumping.
And she shows you some diagrams that show you how to repack it once you've used it. Then she pulls out a little metal cube that's about 6 inches on a side and has a little crank on the top. Mm-hmm. And She cranks it up just a little bit, and it lets out, and it's like a toy that's like wound down. So like clearly you wouldn't normally want to do it this way, but she explains that if you crank it fully, the damn thing will go on for about 8 hours. We haven't really figured out the on-off switch, so just be careful with that. But she cranks it up, and it and then sort of shakes it a little bit, and it starts to bark. And she explains that this little box, once it's activated, senses vibrations. And when it senses any sort of vibrations within about 15 feet, it will start to bark to alert you all. And she shows you a little switch where you can change the bark from a big dog to a little dog, if you would like.
That's adorable.
I want it.
I know.
I love all of this stuff.
That's why I'm taking the time. Like, we don't have this time, but these things are great. So.
I want it so bad.
And finally, she pulls out a fine wooden smoking pipe that has this weird sort of little like wheel inset in the bowl of it, and she packs a little bit of smokeweed into it, and she spins this little wheel, and the wheel sparks and self-lights the pipe.
What's in the pipe?
Just nothing too fancy. So she gives you these 4 gifts, and she says, I hope that these will begin to mend the breaches between us and you. And again, thank you for your service. There is no telling what terrible havoc this creature could have wreaked. And fear not, we will be making sure that our Nim does not create any more homicidal constructs on his own without our supervision.
Oh, okay, well, that was a really weird way of phrasing it, but
it was.
Sure,
Yes, as I said, I realized that it sounded like we were going to be doing it together. Don't worry, we won't be making homicidal.
Okay.
That's all.
Oh, sure. Can I have an insight check?
Yes, you can. Absolutely, you can.
9.
Oh, why would they make
Oh, yeah,
homicidal
okay.
constructs?
Well, that's good. Well, I just wanted clarification. Well, I would still like to come back and visit Nim on occasion, because it just seems like he's mostly lonely.
She says, I suppose that would be acceptable as long as there is an acolyte or a priest to observe the interactions. You understand that we cannot have you bringing him more tools, because if he were to get his hands on that and start creating again, it could be a problem.
Of course. And in any case, I'd have to learn how to actually talk to him. Well, hand signy thing at him first anyway, so I need a translator.
Thought about that, yeah. She says, yes, of course. Well, we will see that it is done then.
Could I have also insight checked her since I don't like her?
Sure.
Is that a good enough reason?
Sure.
I was debating the same thing, but doing
12.
Yeah, no, she doesn't want to create murderous constructs.
Well, does anyone else have anything that they would like to say or ask for? But other than that, I think we're good.
I don't think anybody wants me to talk right now, so I'll just...
I think Rocky is pretty visibly biting his tongue, but he's not going to say anything.
Same.
Okay, great.
Rocky and I are just in the back, just
for very different reasons, though, I feel.
Probably.
All right, great. So she escorts you back downstairs and thanks you all again and sort of sends you on your way. So I believe that the only other thing that we talked about that you all wanted to make sure that you did was that I believe Annie wanted to pay a quick visit to Embrick and Avi, the Genasi Smiths, in the hopes of getting her hands on a chain shirt. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So absolutely, they are thrilled to help you out. I know that you sort of wanted it in a quick time frame, so we can say that you asked for it a few days ago, which is totally fine. They offer to oblige and say that they won't charge you for the rush service if maybe sometime you and Embrick can sort of swap trade secrets or something, since you're more of a weaponsmith, right, Annie?
Yeah. Of course, let's do that sometime, just not right now because I got a thing to do. So yeah, of course, let's do that.
Amazing. Great. Okay, so yes, you can have that chain shirt and all
right.
of the pros and cons that go with it.
Yep, of course. I was going to ask though, how much did we get from Valletta?
Oh, right. 500 gold was in that bag.
What? Okay. Let's divide that up.
Yeah.
It's an even 100 for each of you, which is nice.
Yeah.
I didn't even do that on purpose. I mean, yes, I did. Of course I did. I do everything on purpose. That's not true. Great. Okay. Anything else that I've missed? So I think that this probably took the better part of like the morning and the first couple of hours of the afternoon to really get around to everyone and sort of do everything that you wanted. So we've done all of that. It's a little past high sun. And what's...
Well, we should figure out who's getting which doodad. Does anyone have their eye on anything in particular?
Nope.
I want the box. I would love the box. I want the dog
yes.
dog box.
You take it. Absolutely. Here you go.
Thank you.
I feel like my ass is gonna need that parachute at one point.
Okay. That makes sense. Parachute for you.
I don't know why nothing was a weapon. Why couldn't something have been a weapon? I mean, come on, make stuff.
Well,
you should take the stilts.
I know. I didn't want to say anything, but yeah, I probably should take the stilts. It feels a little on the nose. And also, they're like taller than I am, I think. So this is going to be weird.
Just strap them onto your legs.
Yeah, I'll give it a go. Well, I guess that leaves the self-lighting pipe. Does anyone smoke? Okay.
You do now.
Silme, you want two things?
I mean, I'll share. Puff, puff, puff.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, I had to. I could not. Cool.
All right. Well, there we go. I guess we're good. So do we want to wait until tonight to go on a treasure hunt so that it's all dark and stuff when we show up, or do we want to just head over there now? Or do we want to wait till tomorrow?
What time is it? You said it was midday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a few bells past high sun.
Oh, let's do it now.
Yeah. I think that's
Last time we tried to wait, it didn't go so good. So I guess we better head over now.
Yes.
Listen, you're gonna have to let that go at some point, darling.
Is that true though? I don't know.
Nope. Never gonna let it go. Nope.
To be fair, it was just like day before yesterday.
That is also true.
I do apologize, but I'm also not sorry.
Yeah, then that doesn't work. All right, you know what? Whatever. We're just going. All right, and I get into the danger first. All right, I can take the hits. I even got this chainmail for that. All right.
So excited about it.
I'm sure I'll be really sneaky.
Wait. Chain shirt, not chain mail,
no,
right?
Chain shirt. It was chain shirt. I did add chain shirt. Yeah.
Okay.
You feel
I mean, this
like
chain shirt.
a cat-sized weight, kind of a light on your shoulder, Annie. It's like, I'll be right beside you.
Yeah, we're gonna kill lots of things. Good to see you again.
That's right.
I can hear it.
You hear like this really rapid, like.
Amazing. All right. So, following the map. So the map, as you may or may not recall, is super. How do I describe it? It is every treasure map you've ever imagined. Literally, X marks the spot. There is an X on a building in the Field Ward, just north of the city. Definitely the roughest part of town. Not really also part of town, which is kind of why it's so rough. Anyway, and next to the X is a name. The name is Thrakus. And that's what you have to go on at this point, I believe.
That's the ruckus with 3 people.
What?
A ruckus with 3 people. It's a fracas.
Or a fracas. People
Yes, of course.
I love
Thrakus in the House of Thrakus.
Also, I did just get the crimson.
Oh, there it is. Yay, Scarlet
Yeah.
Marpinoff. Yay.
Yeah, I get it. Do I say what it means or just let other people?
Nah, we'll do it later.
Okay.
Give people in chat, if they haven't figured it out yet, a chance to figure it out.
well,
Let's do it.
Yeah, it seems like it's a good idea to go to the roughest part of town when the light's still out. So let's head on that way.
That
Yeah.
probably ain't wrong.
Especially since we've got a two heavy hitters with us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Since you have us, we should all go together.
Stay together. Okay, great. So up to the field ward you all head. In order to get up there, you all the fighting spirit is in the north ward, which has always made Annie a little uncomfortable, but what are you gonna do? So you all pass through, sort of the noble part of town.
Oh, Annie's really shifty.
Yeah. And as you get past it, though, it is like night and day. So the city walls sort of separate the northern part of the north ward and the sea ward, actually, from the field ward. The field ward is technically outside of the city, although there are walls around a good portion of it and sort of cliff edges. But it is not as carefully guarded by the city watch as the rest of the city, and it's just this immediate change of like atmosphere and feeling. Everything is so much dirtier, the people and the streets and everything around it, and you just sort of feel, I don't know how to describe it, right? You feel like you're being watched sort of all the time, and your hands sort of unconsciously just move to rest at your weapons or your component pouch or whatever, right? There's a tension sort of everywhere without there being any particular or specific reason for it. It just feels tense all the time.
It smells like home.
Yeah, probably. And so you follow the map through a few of these streets, and eventually you come upon what looks like it's a 2-story building that you sort of, as you look at it, you can tell that it probably used to be some sort of windmill. But it's been a while since it functioned as that. The arms of the windmill. What is that part of it called? The wheel, the whatever, are like bare skeletal remains of just the struts and things. So it clearly isn't functioning as a windmill anymore and hasn't for some time. But you do see just outside of one of the doors that lead into this sort of ex-windmill complex area, there is a wooden sign that's carved to look like a butcher's cleaver hanging above one of the doors, painted red.
Oh, that's not disconcerting at all.
I like it.
I could ask Auntie Hasha to go in and look. She could fly through and just take a quick peek.
Seems smart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Auntie, if you wouldn't mind, and she'll flap off.
Okay, great. So the door is closed. Is she gonna open and go in? There are a couple of other doors, and there are a few windows, although most of the windows look shut. Maybe I can't tell from afar if they're locked or not, but they're all shut at this point.
Archie, do you want me to check the door for you?
Sorry, I also should mention the weather is absolute shite.
Oh, wonderful.
You remember yesterday that it really started to come down, and it did not let up over the night. It is absolutely freezing. The wind cuts through. If any of you have ever lived like in the Midwest near a lake, like that like the phrase "the wind cuts through you like a knife" sometimes feels like it's not a metaphor.
I could walk out the door like now, and yeah. Well, it's
Probably,
not blizzarding,
yes.
but that was last week.
So I will say that the snow coming down, the blizzard coming down, does sort of limit your vision. You really can't see much more than about 60 feet ahead of you, even with dark vision. And any wisdom perception checks that you all make that rely on either sight or sound because of the howling wind while you're outside are going to be at disadvantage. Also, if you all spend too long outside, I mean, you're well bundled, so you'll have advantage. But if you spend too long outside without, sort of stationary, not moving around, you're gonna start to have some unfortunate effects. It's really unpleasant out.
I was going to suggest whether check the door and see if it was A, trapped, and B, locked.
Well, how about you go ahead and do that, and she can swoop in around and just look inside the windows.
Great. So why don't you give me an intelligence investigation check, Syl, and Hasha can sort of pretty quickly make a round of the building and check the windows. On the first floor, it looks like the main door that has that sign over it. There's a couple of windows on the backside. Looks like that main area right there is sort of what looks like a butchery, essentially. She does, excuse me. She sees inside. She tells you that she can see a dragonborn with an apron and a cleaver, sort of doing some butchering inside. And that's what's in the main room. As she sort of looks through very quickly some of the other windows, she sees mostly abandoned rooms on the first floor. She does spot some sort of unfortunate-looking humans, mostly, that, I mean, they almost look like they're probably just squatters in these sort of run-down rooms on the first floor. And that's mostly what she sees down there. She can really quickly fly upstairs or up to check the second floor. And up there, she sees mostly like private apartments in the windows, or a private apartment, I suppose. Some storage rooms. Nothing too exciting up there. Syl, what'd you get on that intelligence investigation check?
22.
22, not locked and not trapped. And in fact, as you sort of look, you realize that this is probably the main entrance for the butchery business, because it looks pretty well trafficked, not necessarily today because the weather's so shiny, but in general, like people coming to go through this store all the time.
So dumb. Why don't I just walk in?
Yeah, Rowan will share all the information that was gathered, and
okay.
Annie Hasha will return to her perch on Annie.
Great.
Anybody we can kill?
Well, let's find out then, and walk right in.
All sorts of people that aren't exactly using their lives. I don't like the look of that dragonborn.
Theron just walks right in.
Okay, I guess we follow.
Yep.
Great. Yep. So Theron walks in, and like I said, inside is this butchery that is absolutely ice cold, which is probably good because there's a lot of uncooked meat lying around. So while it's unpleasant, it's probably for the best. Even with the cold, the room just reeks of meat and blood. A sort of giant blood-stained chopping block dominates the room, and that is where this dragonborn is, sort of currently butchering some cuts. There are shelves all around the walls that have cut meat wrapped in like bloody parchment or whatever, like ready for either purchase or delivery, whatever it is. And the floor is just streaked with blood, covered with like bits of gristle and gore. It's like, it's a field ward butchery, right? Like it's not, health inspection wouldn't go well here. And the dragonborn sort of turns to look at you, and like as he looks you all in the eye and like chops a great, like really strong, like chops a piece and goes, yeah.
Hi. We're here to purchase some meat and ask some questions, maybe, if that's all right.
I got meat.
What kind of cuts do you have?
While he's doing this, can I look around the room and see if there's like another entrance or exit?
Yeah, so even without any sort of check, like you can go inside, and it's not a very big room, so you can pretty easily, like it's maybe 20 feet on a side, and you can sort of look around and very quickly ascertain that there are like this is a self-contained like butcher's shop area. It's connected like structurally to the rest of the complex, but there are no other doors in or out of this level section here. So he rattles off some cuts. None of them are particularly fine, and he very conspicuously does not tell you what animals they come from.
Rat, cat. Ooh, people. Does anyone want to try and keep him?
Yeah, I'll just try to keep him distracted. I will ask him lots and lots of questions about the meat. And about how his business is, and about the rooms upstairs, and the kind of people that come through here. Yeah, just
all right. So doing that, I want you, Rowan, to make me a charisma investigation check.
Okay.
A charisma.
While you do that, what are the other four of you doing?
I was gonna go back out and see if I can find another entrance.
Okay, Rocky.
I'm gonna step up next to Rowan and just kind of either block or be intimidating, whatever needs to happen.
Yep. Annie, how about you?
Yeah, I think she would go up next to Rowan too, though, and just be like, "Yeah, it's a really good cut. You know, it probably would like be really fatal for someone if they got that. Like, so like, what would you suggest? You know, against a live, like really awkwardly, like you're cutting dead things, but like live people, yeah. Techniques, any techniques? You know."
He just continues to chop throughout that line of questioning and just sort of stares at you. Theron, how about you?
I'm feigning like I'm sick from the smell and the sight of all the meat, and I'm just kind of turning around, covering my mouth, and just going, Hasha, got a question if you're nearby.
Yes.
What kind of meat is this? Can you tell?
It smells like rat.
Okay.
Have Hasha make me an intelligence nature check.
Sure. 2.
Smells like rats.
Yeah.
It's a big
Love
kind
that.
of rat.
I will get a 20 on my charisma investigation check.
Okay, great. I'm going to tell you some things in a minute. All right, so Syl, you head outside. There are, and Hasha could have told you this from her like scan of the perimeter. There are 3 other entrances, 3 other doors into this windmill complex. There are 2 just sort of to the right of where the butchery is, and there's 1 around back.
Let's go to the one around back.
Okay, great. So you head around there, and that door is like barely on its hinges. Like clearly the room on the other side of it like is not being used really for much of anything because the door is not very secure. So you can go in there and you see that let's see how many of them are in there. Yeah, so there's like 4 human squatters just like in rotted rags. Like some of them are sort of like buried underneath like old like moldy hay to try and keep warm. They're just like, you know, they're not hostile in any way. They just like mostly want to keep warm.
Can I see if there's any other openings in
There
the
is a
room?
door. There's a door in this room that sort of leads more deeper into the windmill complex.
How many people are in there?
4.
Okay. I'd be like, oh, don't mind me, and I'll just drop 4 silver and walk through.
Oh, they scramble for it, but otherwise they don't really pay you much mind.
I would like to be sneaky as I'm going through.
All right, make me a dexterity stealth check, and I will hold on to it, and I'll come back and get it from you in a second. So, Rowan, as you're asking questions, this Dragonborn is being as evasive as possible, but he accidentally let slip a couple of things, and you begin to suspect that not an insignificant percentage of the meat in this room is humanoid meat.
Oh.
That's what I
Oh, well, that's not okay.
Yeah.
It's people?
Sword and thread.
Okay,
Is it people?
Rowan will telepathically communicate that fact to Hasha, and then Hasha will go around and whisper it into people's ears.
Okay. Eat the meat.
And Rowan will continue to try to verbally distract this individual while people coordinate, because action should probably be taken.
I'm
Okay.
sorry to do this to Rowan, but Summer is not subtle.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
As it's humanoid meat,
Oh, no,
out
that's all
comes the bow, and then a glance at Annie. Hey, Annie, want to have some fun?
Oh my god.
I was thinking the same thing, Baron. Let's do this.
All right. Prestidigitation, and I'm just gonna have my fingers start to glow as I aim the
Wait,
bow.
where's Silme?
Can I just cast a message and go,
Crap, not again.
hey guys, I'm around back. Everything okay? You could reply to this message.
We're going to have some fun.
Who do you message?
I think you have to.
I'll message
you have to
Rocky.
see, don't you? Creature.
It
it doesn't say that actually.
No.
Knowledge objects
Nope.
if you're familiar with the target and know
Yep.
it's beyond the area.
Yep. Okay, good. Yes. So great.
So there's a limit to how much I can respond with, right?
Like
Yeah, I believe it's 25 words.
Yeah.
Okay. This guy might be eating people. Shit's going down. Theron and Annie about to kill.
Is he saying this out loud? In front of the guy?
No. I mean,
No,
maybe, but no.
Well, get homeless out of here. I think that's 25
Sure, great.
But is he
I
doing
think
this on his
probably
hands as he does?
Yeah.
That is possible. He's probably counting fingers.
I love it.
Probably at shit's going down. Somebody was already out the door.
Okay, great. Oh dear, I lost my spot. Okay, here we go. Right. So your hands glow. Annie, what did you do?
She's got her X's out, and she says, feeding people is not okay, and she's gonna go attack the dragon.
We gotta get some questions in, Annie.
Yeah, this
She's
is
going to attack the dragonborn.
Okay. Yes, please.
Eugenio, I would like to try and grapple her to the ground
Great.
before she's able to do that.
Great. Please roll high on your initiative.
Okay.
Am I
I'll
right?
do what I can.
Okay. Annie, what did you get?
For initiative?
Yeah.
So, okay. 16.
Okay.
I also have a 16.
Okay, I'm gonna let Rocky go first.
I was gonna say, probably would.
Great. Rowan, what'd you get?
7.
In case we do have to go this far. Theron.
24.
Jesus Christ. Theron. Sil.
Oh shit.
That's okay. It'll take you at least a round or two to get around anyway.
I'm also 16 though.
Okay, well, fine. Great. All right. So, Theron, are you doing anything other than looking threatening at this point?
I'm just gonna say, Andy, we need to get information from him. Don't kill him too hard.
Really good. Okay, Rocky, go ahead.
Well,
So you're gonna try and grab him.
well,
Annie.
Annie hasn't really moved yet, though.
I mean, she for sure has her axes out.
Right, okay. But I'm just gonna kind of like walk up and like stand in front of her and be like, whoa. This isn't how this goes down. And try to, I guess, persuade her out of this.
Okay, so Annie, you're up next. Is there any hope of persuasion, or do we need to come to fisticuffs here?
Well, Theron didn't say not to attack.
Oh.
He just said don't kill hard. And now Rocky's trying to tell her to not attack, which is what she really wants to do.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think I think Rocky's gonna have to. It doesn't make sense. What else are we gonna do? Just let him explain why he's killing people and feeding people meat. So, he needs to go down.
Okay, so Rocky, go ahead and make me a strength athletics check, and Annie, make the same. Oh boy.
Oh no.
Rocky, what'd you get?
Got a 10.
11.
Oh my god! All right, so Annie, you managed to get by Rocky and up to this dragonborn.
Yep.
What do you do?
Swinging with my axes.
Alrighty.
So,
Here it is.
well, let's see. That's a dirty 20 to hit with a 6 damage and plus 3. So that's 9 damage for the first one. I think
All right.
the second one probably misses though, because it is a is it a 9? No, it's a 6. Sorry, it's 6.
Yeah, no.
yeah. So
All right, great. All right, Silme is making her way around. The Dragonborn is like, what?
Would my movement and my bonus action dash get me there?
I'll say get you to just outside the door
Okay.
at this point, so you'll be able to act next round.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
The Dragonborn is like completely flabbergasted at what's happening, and he's like, I don't kill anybody. I just butcher the shipments that I get, and
Yeah.
I send them off. I'm not eating it. I'm not killing them. What's happening?
Yep.
And then I feel like, well, he's gonna like grab his cleaver and like clearly he knows how to use it as a weapon against live things, but like he really doesn't want to fight 5 of you, so he's not going to attack just yet. But he's trying to make it as clear as he can that like he's not killing these people. All right, Rowan, you're up.
Okay. Well, Rowan will say, Annie, maybe we should hear him out. If he isn't truly responsible for this, then we can determine whether or not that's the case. And he will hex this individual's charisma.
Oh, goodness. All right. Yes, absolutely. Great.
And then Anti-Hasha will land on Annabelle's shoulder and use the help action in case she would like to attack. And say,
because that's what Hasha would do.
and say, you asked earlier where the best place to stab would be. In order to allow someone to live, I've always found the gut works best. And that will be
All right. Theron.
Still with the bullet. Maybe we can end this peacefully. There's a stone we're looking for, and we have a map with an X at this location.
Ooh. He says that he doesn't know anything about no stone.
He said.
Because he just rolled his deception with disadvantage, he got a natural 1. Would not be a worse liar.
Oh, right. Well, then I guess aiming for the kneecap.
Oh, gods.
What color is he as a Dragonborn?
He is, I believe, a red dragon ancestry.
Okay, I'm gonna hit him with a firebolt.
Oh my god.
Right.
Just a little love tap, and that's another natural 20.
Well, that's gonna be a solid 2d10 of damage then.
Oh shit! I wasn't.
I mean, he's resistant to it. It's fine.
I didn't want this. That is a 16.
Okay, so he'll take 8 and just gets it right in the face.
And I'll just say, are you sure about that?
He says, yes, no. Okay, so he says, I don't know. I don't know. I only know where I sent it and what I was told to do. I don't know anything about it. Don't like that's not his voice. He doesn't have an accent. He just talks like this. I don't know anything about it. There it is.
And that's
I just did what I was told. I sent the shipment. That's it.
I cocked my head to Rowan.
Okay. Well, where was it coming from? Where was it going to? I feel like there's everyone, please take a step back. Maybe take a deep breath. He's obviously willing to talk to us and give us any information that we want. Considering the dastardly nature of this situation that he's found himself in, and you know, I'm sure that the Watch would be very interested to hear about cannibalism.
Yeah. Watch doesn't care what happens out here, but I'd rather not die by the 5 of your hands, so it all comes to the same. So he tells you a quick tale because he's terrified for his life. He does occasionally try to lie and like hide certain facts, but like so bad at it because of this hex, and he starts to get really frustrated. Like he like develops a stutter every time he tries to lie, and like he doesn't know what's happening, and he's so frustrated. But anyway, so eventually you manage to get the full truth out of him. It probably takes a couple of smacks upside the head, but eventually you do manage to get the truth out of him, which is that he truly knows nothing about the stone, but it was brought to him, and he was instructed to include it in a recent meat delivery to an alley in the trades ward. The shipment was taken to a place called Cuddle's Meat Pies in an alley in the trades ward. The delivery was sent by way of a member of the Guild of Butchers named Justin Rask. Justin with a Y because it's fantasy.
Oh, God.
And he sort of describes Justin's blood-spattered horse-drawn cart that he uses to make the deliveries so that you all can find it.
In the trades ward?
Yes. The delivery was made to the trades ward. Yes.
Alley in the trades ward.
Mm-hmm.
Blood splattered cart. God, that sounds horrible.
Just follow your nose.
Gross.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for cooperating. I would highly recommend throwing out this meat. It's obviously gone very bad, and there's no reason why anybody else needs to hear about this. And you probably shouldn't do business with those individuals anymore if they're, basically asking you to probably dispose of bodies that were murdered.
He just sort of grumbles and mutters about how he's going to lose his livelihood for this. Can I have all of you make wisdom perception checks? Not at disadvantage because you're still inside for this as you all are leaving. Let's start with Rocky.
You said perception?
Please.
17.
Great. Rowan?
Hasha gets a 20 and I get a 15. I'm not sure how you want to handle it.
Yeah, that's perfect. That way. That's how we'll handle it. Theron?
8.
Oh, great. Still?
15.
And Annie?
Dirty 20.
All right, so everyone except for Theron, who is already out of the building, obviously. That's why they don't hear this. The rest of you, as he's sort of muttering about like how he's going to lose his livelihood if he has to throw out all this meat and not do business with these people, you definitely hear him like curse the Zentarum, those Zent knuckleheads, and you get the idea that like they are probably involved in at least some of his meat shipments, and likely this one that you all are trying to track down.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll just kind of like give everybody a look to make sure that we don't caught that.
Great.
Poke my head back in. Are we going? Are we going? Can we go? It's cold out here.
Yeah, of course we are.
All right. Cool.
All right.
Right.
So
yes,
then
and
off to the trade wards.
It is absolutely freezing, but yes, you head off to the trade wards. The movement as you all head south in the city manages to stave off a good bit of the cold and keeps you from freezing to death. But it's still unpleasant.
I will use prestidigitation to warm a cubic foot of 3 of our clothing for an hour, so that we're toasty.
Yes, I love that. So you all are keeping warm that way. I love that. So you all are headed down. There we go. You all are headed down to the trades ward, and it's quite a ways down there. Let's see just how far it is.
Can we also be keeping a lookout for the cart?
Yes, certainly. It takes you probably about an hour to get all the way down to the area of the trades ward. You ask around and sort of figure out where this shop is, Cuddle's Meat Pies. And you get down there after about an hour, and you turn down this snow-covered alley, and there are a couple of buildings in there, and in particular, you do see you sort of catch sight of some hoof prints and wheel ruts in the snow. Excuse me. And why doesn't somebody make me a wisdom survival check?
Okay. I can give a shot.
Great. That seems reasonable.
Yeah, I was like,
Since I said the word.
wisdom. Something I do not have.
You know, I'm not too worried about the cold, so I only have a 12.
That's enough to see, even though snow has started to fill in the tracks, it's enough to see that the cart that you all are following, you see little bits of sort of blood flecking the snow with where the cart wheels are. So good indication that maybe this is what you're looking for. And you can tell that it made a brief stop at 2 different buildings in this alley. There is one that is, you see the sign and is very obviously Cuddles Meat Pies, but it also stopped at the little like shack or whatever it is, like building next door to it as well. And as you all are sort of investigating those tracks and sort of looking and keeping an eye, trying to figure out like where this cart might have been, you catch sight of another entrance to this alley, sort of on the far side, and it looks like ultimately the delivery cart went that way. And as you all are sort of examining all of these things, it is not until they are upon you that you all notice in the wind and the snow, you all notice that there are in fact 5 bugbears with bludgeons raised, ready to beat the living daylights out of the 5 of you. And so we're going to once again roll initiative. Only this time I was ready for it. Excellent. Give me a second. Here we go. All right, man, I'm rolling initiatives like crazy. Okay, Theron.
7.
Okay.
Gotta offset the 220s.
Yeah.
6.
Excellent. Rocky.
21.
All right. Syl.
9.
Rowan.
14.
All right. So they are going to get a surprise, and there's one for each of you. So that makes this easy. All right. So let's just go around the horn and start with Syl. That it comes out of nowhere, tries to smack you with its great big morning star, but it just whiffs you. It's sort of like it's hard to see in the snow, and that's true for both of you. So it misses. Then we will go down as it swings at Theron. At Theron, and that is a large number to hit. 22 to hit.
Definitely. My first damage of the game.
It just catches you square in the back of the head. It is no holy gods. It is no joke. That is 20 points of piercing damage.
Shoot
to the back of Theron's head. Next is Rowan. Rowan, does a 15 hit you?
That is exactly my armor class.
All right, so that gets you right in the stomach for a little bit less. That is 6, 9, 11, 13 piercing damage.
Okay.
Rocky, the one at you is only a 10 to hit, so I don't think that hits you.
Mm-hmm.
So it also just misjudges the distance. And Annie, the one that's headed up to you, I think gets right up to you and couldn't really see you very well and realizes once it's right next to you that you are a angry-looking half-orc and just like trips. And I rolled a natural 1, so he face plants in the snow, and we'll call him prone in the snow right next to you.
Nice.
And that was their surprise round. So we're at the top of the initiative order. Rocky, you are up.
Okay. I'm going to do a good old round. Actually, I think I'm going to pull a dagger that is pretty not normal for me, but I'll pull one out of my belt, I guess. And I'm going to just come at this bugbear that jumped at me.
Sick. I like it.
With a 20 versus armor class.
That will do.
For 4 damage.
All right.
And then after that, I'm going to do a key point flurry of blows.
Absolutely.
And I'll attack a couple more times.
Absolutely.
With a 17 to hit and a 14 to hit.
Okay. 14, I got to check. I believe that hits. No, actually the 14. The 14 does hit. They don't have their shields. So yes, the 14 does.
Okay, great. Then that is, I another 12 damage total, and I want to try and knock him down with my open hand stuff.
Okay, so you definitely do knock him down as you stab him in the gut, punch him in the face, and crack his skull, and he falls to the ground unconscious.
All right. He's actually going to give a bit of a yell right into his face as it's down on the ground.
Absolutely. All right. Unfortunately, they rolled really well for their initiative. So it's the remaining one's turn again, and they are going to continue to attack those of you who they are on. So we'll just go around in the same order that we did before. So Syl, we'll start with you. And this time it does manage to connect with a 19 to hit, I assume, yes?
Shield.
Oh, shit. I forgot. Okay, great.
Oh,
All right.
yes.
So Syl, how does Syl cast shield?
I just
Sorry.
flicks him off with her arm exposed, and as the shield
Amazing.
just comes up.
Amazing. I love everything about it. Okay, fantastic. So this morning star, which is coming straight for your shoulder, just crashes into this this sort of barely visible nimbus of light around and it totally startles this bugbear, and he just is pissed. All right, fantastic. I love it. Theron, the one that already smacked you once. That is only an 11 to hit you.
That's definitely gonna miss. Does
Okay.
it? Let me see now. Does it?
Uh-huh.
Okay, no, don't worry about it.
Okay, great. So that one, like, it overcompensates, and it thinks you're slower than you are because it got such a solid hit on you last time, but you managed to dodge out of the way of its morning star. Rowan, the one that's at you, that is a 16 to hit you?
Yep.
All right. This is not going to hurt quite as bad because you're ready for it this time, and also
That's
because
good.
I rolled a 1 and a 2, so that's 5 more piercing damage. As this one just sort of catches you in the side, you try and turn away with it, and it just sort of grazes you. It definitely hurts. Finally, the one that is next to Annie, unfortunately, you all never got to take advantage of its prone situation, so it stands up and tries to swing at you again, now prepared for who and what you are, and that is a 17 to hit you.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, even with the new armor. So that is a that's a solid 14 points of piercing damage. As it really, you weren't ready for it, and you were sort of leaning over this bugbear, like amused, and it just swings its morning star right up into your chin, knocks you back. All right, fantastic. It is Rowan's turn, and Syl, we're on deck.
Well, I have plenty of the material component for this spell, so I will cast Bane as a second level spell on 4 of them.
That works perfectly. They make wisdom saves?
Charisma saves.
Charisma saves. Oh, this is going to go super well. Let's see. Bugbear, charisma, -1. So that is an 11.
Fail.
A 9.
Fail.
A 7. And a 0.
All right. So 4 of them will have a minus a d4, and then Auntie Hasha will, I guess, help Annabelle, since she's been kind of floating around Annie.
What does Bane look like when you cast it?
It feels like their whatever guilt they have for actions that they performed in the past, kind of all those memories start becoming dredged up in the back of their mind and form a distraction.
I love that. Yeah. Ooh, I love that a lot. Okay, great. So all of you can just see in their eyes, like some really brief, at least at this point, flickers of doubt, but like something sort of pulls all 4 of them up short. And you said Hasha goes to help out Annie?
Yes.
Okay, great. Syl, you are up. Theron, you're on deck.
Scimitars are out.
I'm shocked.
Swiped at the bear in front of me. Right?
All right, do it.
What is it?
Bugbear.
Bugbear.
Not a regular bear. That would be really weird in the middle of this.
Is it? It's not flanked with anyone right now, is it?
No, and also I don't do flanking because that's too easy to get advantage.
Damn it. But I do get sneak attack, right?
Yeah, you all are probably pretty closely bunched together, so I guess I'll be nice and say that you have an ally within 5 feet of this bugbear, sure.
Sweet. And it's Dex plus... It's been so long since I've actually fought anything, so +4, 14 to hit?
14 does hit. I keep forgetting. Yes, 14 just hits.
And I'll roll the second attack.
Okay.
More. 20 to hit.
Great. So 2 solid stabs with the scimitars.
It's 1d6 plus my big attack, which is what at this point?
Your 4th level, so 2 additional d6. And you're
Okay.
using scimitar, so it's a total of 4d6. You have the fighting style, which means you get your bonus, so it's 4d6 plus 4.
46 plus 8. Oh. 11. 15.
15, and you just slice into the one at your side and drop it to the ground. Its entrails steaming on the frigid snow.
I just flash my fangs.
Oh my. Theron, you're up. Annie, you're on deck.
Okay, without leaving the threat range of the one that's on me, I'm going to try and maneuver myself where I can get that one and at least one more in range of me within 5 feet.
Yep,
And then
totally.
I'm just going to say, burn, and I'm going to disappear in a poof of fire, and I am going to deal 4 fire damage to each bugbear within 5 feet of me. I'm going to appear 30 feet away down the alley with my bow out, and I am going to... The one that hit me is going to get a silver streak of energy.
Woof.
For the 17, and that is for the full 10 damage.
Yikes. Okay, that'll do 10. Okay, so that drops another one between the fire and then the force damage of your arrow. That third one drops to the ground. Hold, please. Great. Okay, great. Fantastic. All right, Annie, you are up. You have one of the remaining live bugbears.
Yeah, having been hit in the face, and all of its companions just went down, I just turn and I look at it slowly and I go, "You really shouldn't have done that." And I attack with my axes.
Yes, you do.
You get advantage on the first one.
You do, because Antihasha is there assisting.
Okay. 50, dirty 20 to hit on the first.
That'll do.
And on the second, that was a 17 to hit as well.
That'll also do.
So that's 4 plus 3.
7.
7, and then 2 on the second.
7 and 2. All right. So 2 solid hacks at this thing, and its blood just bleeding. And again, like every drop of blood that hits the ground just steams and sizzles briefly as it hits the freezing cold snow. And we're back up to the top. Rocky, there's one engaged with Annie, and there's one engaged with Rowan.
Okay. I'm going to go for the one with Rowan.
Yes.
I'm going to rush over there and try to do a sweet jump kick. Which I haven't practiced very much. So that was a 7 as I whiffed past. So even though I miss, I can still do the bonus actions, though, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I will use a key point and do 2 more.
Okay, do the thing.
First one misses with another 6, and the last one, 7, and the next one is a 17 to hit.
17 will do.
Yep. So that is another 6 damage, and I would like to knock it down if I can.
Okay, that's a strength saving throw to avoid that. Is that correct?
Dexterity.
Dexterity. Okay, great. Whoops. It's a 9, so it's going to go down.
Yeah.
All right. So you just sweep its legs out from underneath it, and down it falls. Let's see.
I'm going to yell, pick on someone your own size.
Really good.
I actually, yeah, high five. Epic high five.
High five from Rowan.
So it is the 2 remaining bugbears' turns. In this moment, let's see. Theron, you're at the far end of the alley. Syl, you are not currently engaged with one. Let me just check your passive perceptions. Syl, you do not notice this, but Theron, you do. You notice that in the kerfuffle, someone has come out into, actually a couple of someones have opened the door of the other building that's not the meat pie shop. And they are standing in the doorway, and they sort of look shocked at what's happening. And very quickly, one of them, let's see. Yes, one of them is hands something to this woman, that is there in the house with them and sort of shoves her, and she takes off running towards the entrance of the alley that you all came in through. And she takes off running, and the other gentleman in the doorway sort of shuts the door and retreats back inside. And you see this woman that took off running sort of get to the edge of the alleyway and start to climb to the rooftop of the nearest building there. Meanwhile, let's see. The bugbear that is with Annie is going to try and swing at her, but there's a bit of doubt, and so it will... Oh, okay, so I rolled a 19 and then a 4 on the D4, so that's fun. So that's a 15 plus... Okay, so it's actually adjusted 19 to hit you.
Still hits.
Right. It's nice. Just totally cancel out its attack bonus. Woof. So that is 14 plus 2, 16 points of piercing damage to you, as you two are just trading like really solid blows. All right, then the one that is by Rowan, Rowan and Rocky gets up and takes your advice, Rocky, and goes after you. Okay, so that's a -1 plus 4 is 3. But it just it starts to like tear up a little bit as it realizes all of the terrible things that it's done. And it's just like it's gonna hit, and then it just like drops its arm to the side, like a single tear. Like,
what have I done with my life?
Yeah, exactly.
Rowan,
Rowan, you're up.
Okay. Did Annie Hasha see the individual fleeing off and climbing up the roof? That's a good.
She's with Annie, but it's not impossible that she would have seen it since she's not being immediately engaged. I'm going to take a quick look at Hasha's stats.
Sure thing.
Yes, I do think out of the corner of her eye, she sort of noticed motion in that direction. Yeah.
Okay. Well then, I am going to... Rowan will be encouraging everyone down here. It looks like this situation largely is in control. Will be concentrating on a spell. And Annie Hasha is going to swoop up after that individual, flying after her and try to stinger her in the back of the neck.
Okay, absolutely. And she's got a fairly good lead, and she's moving really quickly over these up, and now that she started moving on the rooftops. So I think Hasha can probably, let's see, her flying speed is what, 40?
40.
Is that right? Yeah. So I think she can probably get to her on this one because she is still climbing. So yes, that is fine.
Okay.
And she's still invisible, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So she can make that attack with advantage.
That would be a 12.
I do not think a 12 is going to hit. Let me just make sure that that's true.
That's with advantage?
Yeah, 3 and a 7.
Look, Judgy, sometimes we roll shitty.
Yeah, do you remember that, Alex?
Yeah, I remember it every week. The fact that I hit anything today is like a friggin' miracle.
Yeah. No, a 12 does not hit her.
Okay.
But she lets out a little yelp as this thing materializes next to her and appears visibly, and then she just sort of lets out this like really sort of joyful, strangely in this situation, laugh and takes off across these rooftops. And she is clearly just having the time of her life, which is super weird. Fantastic. Who is up? Where's my initiative? It is Syl. Theron, you're on deck.
How far away is she? I don't know.
Point, yeah, I don't think you would have noticed.
I'm sorry. I don't notice a damn thing. So are there any...
You can use your action to make a perception check if you would like to see if you notice, but it'll take your action.
Well, there's no reason for me to do that.
I mean, I'm just giving you options.
My perception shit, though.
Or you can... There's still 2 bugbears that are alive.
Yeah, I think I'm just going to go for the 2 bugbears. They're both hurt, right?
Yes.
Are they close together?
Close enough that you could probably move between them if you managed to down one of them. Which one are you going for first?
I will go to the one that is by Rowan.
Great. Go ahead and make that attack roll.
14.
That is just... You all have 3 times rolled 14s, which is exactly their AC. Yes, that hits.
Okay.
Well, I just moved my mouse over our image on the video, and there are a lot of you with hit points in the red.
Yes.
Thought I'd point that out.
Oh yeah.
Carry on.
We are aware.
Is
So
that
on the
for
first
bloody?
hit, that's 3 6s and a 4, so that's 12, 16.
Did you? Oh, you 14. We just had this conversation. Yes, you
Yeah.
for sure eviscerate that one as well. So that one goes down.
Yeah, that was 20
Move
points of
over
damage.
to the other one.
It's not gonna hit. That's 11.
What?
An 11.
Into the microphone, please. And 11. No, that does not quite.
It was 11.
That does not quite manage it. This one just sort of turns around and at the last minute puts up its morning star and sort of parries your second scimitar slash. Theron, you are up. Annie, you're on deck.
Okay, so you say so. In the time she's appeared, is she still climbing, or is she just finally reached it?
At this point, I think she's about to reach the rooftops.
Okay, I'm going to use my own healing light on myself as a bonus action to give myself.
That feels reasonable at this point in time.
That's nice. 8. I'm back in the double digits.
Great.
And then from there, I'm going to run to my distance, 30, and I am going to just drop the bow, and a shining light is going to appear in the center of my forehead, and I'm going to cast Mind Spike on her.
Oh, good lord. All right, that's an intelligence save question.
Wisdom? Let me see. I'm looking right at it. But where'd you go, Mind
Wisdom.
Spike?
Yep, you're correct. What am I thinking of? Psychic Scream. That's what I'm thinking of. Goodness gracious. Okay. Why did I move away from her stats? That was dumb.
I also do want to say that because I am very new to this whole magic thing, I cast Shield. You said you rolled a 19 against me.
Yes.
Shield is only +5 and my AC is 13. So that would
Oh boy.
So
Okay, well everything that has happened since then has happened, but you do take 12 points of piercing damage from that hit that did hit you.
Yeah, it did.
But also you can have that, like, I'll give you that spell slot back because you are new to magic, but like still would have known, right?
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
it's fine. You can have that spell back.
Thanks. And I had 12 points.
Yes, and 12 points. I believe she fails her save against Mind Spike.
Yeah, okay. So she takes a lovely amount of damage. 3
Fantastic.
8.
Yes.
So that's an 8 and a 5
13.
and a 6.
19. Woofta. Okay.
And now I know where she is.
Yes. That will be important here in a moment. Okay, Annie.
Yep.
Rocky, you're on deck.
2 X's. Chop, 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 chop. Now it's
Do
going to be
the chop.
painful.
Choppy choppy. Do it.
Uh,
Sorry, Theron, I should ask, what does Mind Spike look like, if anything? I don't know that it necessarily does. You get the light in your forehead. Does it look like anything on her end?
It's I reach into her mind, and she feels like a twin light on her head. Like half an icicle sticking out of her forehead.
Woo! Yes, absolutely. I love it. Great. Okay, sorry, Annie. Carry on.
That's okay. One attack misses, but the first attack hits with a 21. So second attack misses. First attack hits for 7 damage.
Okay, and that is enough to drop this final bugbear to the ground. All right, we are going to stay in initiative, though, until I find out what you all are wanting to do next. Rocky, you are up.
Okay. So this person's getting further away, right?
Yes,
do I
at
know?
this point, I should roll their initiative. Okay, so they're just at the top of. Just at the top of the wall and about to like begin their trek over the rooftops.
Okay.
How far away?
And how far away? Yeah,
About 40 feet from you at the moment.
that's what I like to hear.
But some of that is vertical distance.
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna I think move towards this person. I'm gonna try and sprint as fast as I can.
Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. Because this is I want to make this clean. I want a clean double. Anyone? Bueller? No? All right. Center Stage, great movie. It's not. It's terrible. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. So, Rocky, you're going to run over, and presumably you need... Make me a strength athletics check to climb up this wall.
Oh, I'm gonna jump.
Oh.
I'm gonna step of the wind and use a key
you are.
point.
I love everything about that. Fantastic. Okay. And that's a bonus action to do that, or not an action at all?
So it gives me a free dash as a bonus.
Okay,
action.
great. So we'll say that you can get to her, and go ahead and make an attack roll, and go ahead and, because I assume you're going to attack her.
Yeah, that's fine.
Great. Or if there was something else.
No, I mean that's okay. Really, I want to get her prone, but that means I have to do the other attacks.
Yeah.
But that's only a 12.
Ooh, 12's not going to
13.
Also not going to quite do it.
Okay,
cool.
And then I'll do my last key point for the other 2 attacks. If that's
okay.
right.
Yeah, because you didn't need to dash because your speed is 40, so that's fine.
Okay, yeah. First one misses. Last one, however, is a 23.
That'll do. All right, so you all watch as Rocky just like bounds over to this building and leaps to the top of it. It's not a short building, y'all. This is not a normal jump. Gets up there, throws a couple of punches, sees she's just sort of laughing wildly, and one of them does clock her in the face. How's it go?
It's for 7 damage and try to knock prone with open hand.
Okay. Well, that's a natural 20.
Okay, that's fine.
But she sort of takes it, and she looks really surprised, and then she sort of chuckles and nods. Okay, so are you all going to go after her at this point?
I will.
Yeah, well, I'm not going after her, but Hasha will be going after her.
Sure. Okay, great. Is anyone else not going after her?
Oh,
Okay,
wait.
great.
Well, yeah.
Go ahead.
No. I guess I'll go after her.
I'll follow through the alleys. I'm not going to try to get to the rooftops.
Okay, great. And you sort of have a beat on her the whole time. Yes, Rowan?
I would like to hex her, specifically her dexterity.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Okay. All right. So it is her turn, and she's going to get quite a little move on you all. So we're going to have a little chase scene.
I don't get
Very
slowed
excited.
down because I've got the urchin background, so moving through alleys is kind of my thing. So
Great. Fantastic.
Just a quick question, though.
Yes.
Did anybody want to talk to that dude that gave her the pet? I don't know about this. Never mind.
I mean, but also Rowan is staying behind.
Yeah,
Got it. Yeah.
Rowan will be like lurking and hiding and maybe using illusions to cover himself up while Hasha is running off, and he'll stay back and keep an eye out.
Making sure
So
I'm
if there's anything else that you do at any point want to do in that area, Rowan, let me know while we run this chase. Okay. So she's moving across the rooftops. She is just, like I said, she's having a blast. She is hopping and leaping like she is perfectly at home on these rooftops. She occasionally will like grab like clotheslines and swing across gaps. She's very good at this and knows it and is showing off a little bit.
Not quite as good as what she was before.
Correct. Stumbles, but she like takes it in stride. Like she like thinks it's super fun that she like occasionally messes up and allows you all to get a little closer because it just makes it more exciting. So here's how chases work, very briefly. If you all want to, so she's moving very quickly. If you all want to do to dash, you can dash after her across these rooftops a number of times equal to, I believe it's 3 plus your Constitution modifier. After you've dashed that many times, you're going to start making Constitution saving throws, and if you fail them, you will start to rack up levels of exhaustion as you just are motoring through this chase, right? But you can do it that many times without any sort of penalty. You can, of course, not dash and use your action to do something else, but there's a good chance that you'll then drop further behind in the chase, which is, of course, fine. At the end of each of your turns, you're going to roll a d20 and let me know what you get, and that d20 will determine whether or not the next person in the initiative order has some sort of a complication. Something pops up on the rooftops that hinders or helps their chase of this person. This will be, I mean, if you want to make attacks and you want to do things with your actions, like we'll absolutely do that, and we will be an initiative, but we're going to sort of make this a little more narrative as you all chase her across the rooftops of the Trades Ward here in Waterdeep. So She runs. She is. She makes it about 60 feet. About 80 feet. Nope, I'm doing this wrong. 1, 2, 3. She makes it 90 feet. There it is, because math is hard.
God.
She makes it 90 feet on this first round from Rocky. The rest of you are a little bit behind that. And that is her turn. So she's going to roll a d20 to see if Hasha, who is next on the initiative order, has any problems, although she's flying. So chances are, even if she does, it'll probably be fine. She does not. So Hasha, it is Hasha's turn. Hasha has his fly speed of 40. Let me know what she's doing, Rowan.
She will. So she can just dash and move 80 and basically keep pace.
Yes, essentially keep pace, keep an eye on her. She and Rocky are going to be the ones who keep pace sort of the best with her, especially at first. And basically that proximity is going to keep her from being able to take cover and hide. If she were, a little bit further ahead, it would be easier for her to sort of find places to hide, although Theron has a good bead on her with his magic, but yes.
Okay, well, she'll just communicate back to Rowan, inform of the situation, and then just be tracking her, going after her and maintaining pace.
Right, absolutely. And Hasha is a nimble flyer, so occasionally this woman will throw bits of clothing that she's ripped off of clotheslines back at Hasha, but no problem there. Hasha dodges out of the way. Maybe she gets some undergarments stuck on one of her horns at some point and sort of trails them behind.
If she gets an opportunity to turn invisible, she will, but if she's going to fall behind in order to do so, then she won't.
At this point, yeah, she would be falling behind because it does take an action, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So this round, we'll say she dashes to keep pace. Still, your turn. So tell me what you're doing. Oh, sorry. Hasha needs to roll a d20.
Yes. 5.
5. Okay. So, Syl, you get up to the rooftops and you begin running, and you step on a rotten section of roof that collapses underneath you as you are running after this woman. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
A dexterity saving throw. 19.
19. All right. So you very nimbly, you can sense that it weakens, and as it collapses underneath you, you just leap and sort of roll on the far side of this hole that opens up, and you're able to continue the chase with no problems. Are you dashing or taking a different action?
How far away is she from me? She's 100 and some odd feet from me now?
Yeah, because you were still a little further behind.
Cool. Then I will movement, bonus action dash, so that should move me 90 feet, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so that will get me closer.
Yeah, so I think at this point she's probably 40 feet from you.
Cool. That's all I can do.
Great. All right, fantastic.
Keep in pace. D20?
Yes, please, D20. And make sure that those of you who are dashing are just marking how many times, because I'm not going to remember. 6. All right. So, Theron, you are up next. Giving chase on the ground, correct?
Yes.
Am I only counting one dash?
Oh, no. That was 2.
Shit. Okay.
All right. So, 6. I need to do... Hang on. I need a different chart of things that happen because you are not on the rooftops. Here we go. All right, here we go. So a 6. Okay. So Theron, as you're walking, you're sort of trying to keep a good eye on her as she's going, and you don't notice that you're about to run smack into a pack of dogs that are fighting over food in the street. So I need you to make a dexterity acrobatics check to try and get through this pack unimpeded. You can make that with advantage because your urchin background, you're used to this sort of thing. Go ahead and make it with advantage.
Thank you. 14 on the dice, and dexterity is +4, so...
All right, so without any problem, you sort of nimbly leap, you pat one of the dogs on the head as you run by, and carry on.
I say I'm sorry in my animal speak.
Amazing, I love it. Okay, are you dashing or doing something else with your action?
I'm going to use my full movement. I've got the spell sniper ability, so if I see even her head over the rooftop, I'm going to make an attack.
Yeah, absolutely. So you will fall a little further behind. You'll always know where she is, but at this point, that's fine. What attack are you using?
Guiding Bolt.
Ooh, all right. That's another attack roll. Go for it.
+6. It's a 16.
A 16? You know what? I don't think a 16 hits, but hold on a second.
Jesus, what is she made out of?
She's very nimble. Hang on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, a 17 just misses. It
Wait.
glances off of her cloak, and her cloak sort of gets burst aside from the bolt, and you realize that she's wearing some pretty fine-looking leather armor underneath her.
Is she
Underneath her
nimble?
cloak. Is she what?
She's nimble, right?
She's not a halfling, if that's your question.
Nimble, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking
No,
nimble, right?
Oh no, she is flesh and blood.
I'm like, nimble? Cool.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Fantastic. Theron, give me a D20 as we continue the chase. We zoom back up to the rooftops.
7.
Good. Just all of them. I love it.
Are like higher ones like better for us?
Yes. All right, Annie. So you are climbing up, and you just take off running, and you get up there, and you're trying to clock your friends just to keep an eye on them, and you almost run smack into a chimney. I need you to make a dexterity acrobatics check.
Okay. Oh, well, 16. All time.
Okay, so you definitely collide with this chimney, but you sort of managed to like use the momentum and bounce off of it and continue running without any problem. So what are you doing? Are you dashing or something else?
No, dashing as much as I can. So
Through the snow.
Yeah.
One horse open. Through the snow. No, it's actually snowing. This is great. Okay.
Puns on so many levels. Self-inspiration.
I love it. Annie, make me a D20. Make me a D20. Yes, please. Hand make me a D20.
Craft it.
16.
16. Okay, so Rocky doesn't get anything. So Rocky, you are up there. You just missed a couple of punches on her. What are you gonna do next?
Well, I'm gonna move and then dash, try and get closer.
Okay, so she was 90 feet ahead of you, so you can make it 80 feet without too much trouble, and so you are within 10 feet of her. So again, between you and Hasha, you're keeping her from sort of being able to make any stealth checks to try and hide from you all at this point.
Right.
It is her turn. She goes.
Do my D20?
Oh yes, please, D20.
Okay. That's a 2.
Okay, all right. So, you all see, like the two of you being that close sort of unnerves her a little bit. So she sort of takes a left turn and starts running. But what she wasn't ready for was the fact that one of the buildings that now she has to cross to is about 10 feet higher than the one that she's currently on. So she leaps and she catches, but we've got to see if she manages to climb up without too much trouble. Oh, that's a 19 on the die. So yeah, she leaps up, catches, sort of yanks herself up and does like a little flip onto this higher roof and runs on.
Should have done strength.
She got a 5 again, but that's boring because we've already done that, so I'm gonna re-roll. Okay. Okay, so Hasha, it's Hasha's turn. Hasha has garnered the attention of some little urchins down on street level. They're terrified of her, and one of them who like has presence of mind like packs a snowball and hurls it at her. So I need Hasha to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. She gets a 6.
All right, so the the snowball just smacks her straight in the face and sort of like fucks with her vision a little bit. So one of her moves, so not both her move and her dash, but one of them, she will essentially be moving with difficult terrain or at half speed for that. So also like maybe she just goes and kills the kid. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, she definitely makes note.
I will remember this.
Yeah. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, so it is Hasha's turn though.
Okay. Well, she will stay the course, but only be able to go 60 feet this turn
Right,
with the dash.
leaving her, still keeping her from hiding, but leaving her another 10 feet ahead of her still. All right, D20 for me.
20.
All right. What round of the chase is this? This is 2, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Great. All right, 20. So nothing to hinder Syl as Syl carries on. What you doing, Syl? Anything?
Can I do movement and bonus and get within 30 feet of her?
That is a good question. So you were, I don't
40
believe
feet
so.
back.
You were 40 feet back, and then she moved another 60 feet. So you can move and bonus action dash and be within 40 feet of her.
Can't get within 30 feet of her?
No, I'm sorry. You could use another action dash and be within 10 feet of her, but that would be all of your things.
Until next turn, until she's 60 feet ahead of me. If I do this, then I am out of dashes before I have to make Constitution saving throws.
That's true.
But
I will say the DC starts like pretty chill. Like it's not a super high DC to start. I think it's like 10 or something.
I'm not really
That's how he lulls us enough false into security and gives us 4 levels of exhaustion later.
Oh, it's fine. You'll win the big pot today. The only thing I have at distance is like.
I will also say that any levels of exhaustion that you gain from the chase go away after a short rest.
Yeah, it's like not me with the chase. I guess I'm just gonna. I'm gonna go balls to the wall and try to get as. I guess I'll get within 10 feet of her.
Yep, within 10 feet. Okay, fantastic. That is Sill's turn. It is Theron's turn. Oh, Sill, D20.
Oh yeah. 7.
Hooray!
We did that one. You want me to re-roll it?
No, this is different because I'm using a different table for Theron because Theron's on the ground.
Oh, okay.
All right. So,
Sorry.
Theron, you really just run into every group of creatures that is on the streets. This time you run into a brawl in progress on the streets. So you can, again, with advantage because of your urchin feature, you can either make a strength athletics, dexterity acrobatics, or charisma intimidation check to try and get past the brawlers unimpeded.
Ooh. I'm going to go with my dexterity, and I'm going to try and baseball slide between them.
I love it. Yes.
That is a 21.
21. Okay, so you baseball slide right between the two of them, waving at them as you go. If any of this is not true, you're welcome to stop me.
No,
but
I get the bow on my chest. 5.
Yep.
And then I catch a lip of cobblestone, and it just propels me right back up into a running position.
Amazing. I love everything about it. Okay, what are you doing?
Okay, is she's still within 240 feet of me?
She is, and I will say that I'll say that on this one you can manage to get a beat on her to attack her if you want, but because of that left turn that she took and because she's going sort of deeper into the rooftops, probably it's going to be tougher to catch sight of her in the next round. You may be able to catch sight of her again in future rounds, but next round she'll be out of sight from you.
It's 18 on the dice.
That's gonna hit her.
Okay, and not as awesome as my guiding bolt would have been, but it's this is the silver streak, and it's another 10 damage.
Another 10. All right. She takes it and she sort of spins around with her momentum, like she continues moving forward, but she spins around and like is completely shocked that somebody managed to hit her, and then it takes her a minute to sort of figure out where it comes from. Fantastic. D20 for me, please.
That's another 7. I'm just gonna 16.
Okay. Wait. Oh yes, we have done that. But actually, no, that's a different one. Here's what I will do. I will say that since you rolled a 7 in the first place, and she did like take a left turn and have to climb up something, I'll say that is something that Annie has to do as well. So you'll have to sort of make the climb up there as you continue to go. So go ahead and make me a strength athletics check, right? That's what I said? Yes, strength athletics check, Annie.
So, 11.
11 is just enough. It's a little more than just enough. So you two, it's not quite as graceful, but you two are able to just pull yourself up and not be hindered at all. Okay, what are you doing?
How far away is she from me?
Oh, goodness. I don't remember. Let's see. You were about with Sill, right?
I think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
So she's at this point, but you only did that. So Sill, how far is she from you? 10 feet. So
10
she's
feet.
about
10 feet.
40 feet from you if you dash. Sorry, so she's 100 feet from you at this point.
Whew, losing her. As whatever, all of the movements that Annie can make. She's going to.
All right, so you'll run ahead and she'll be within 40 feet of you at this point again. All right, D20, Annie.
15.
15. All right, so no hindrance for Rocky as Rocky continues on his chase. What you doing?
I'm going to move and then dash. Last one.
Right.
Trying to keep on her. So that's 80 feet. She was 10 feet in front of me, so I don't know quite where that.
Oh, so that actually you can actually catch up to her. It'll take your dash, but you can actually catch up to her then.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. So you're essentially neck and neck with her at this point, and she again startles and then just lets out like this again delighted laugh, and she says, "Well done," and takes off again.
Thank you, but this is not over.
Really good. All right, roll me a d20, please.
That's a natural 20.
Okay. So she has no problems as she races across the rooftops and gets another 60 feet from you all. All right, she is going to roll for Hasha. That is a 2. Oh, okay. This one doesn't affect Hasha, however. So this one is that you come across a rooftop that's 10 feet lower this time, but that's not going to affect Hasha because she's flying.
Okay. Well, Hasha is going to use that rooftop. She is going to use Shape Changer to transform into a raven, but all of her equipment and clothing and stuff will fall down on top of the roof.
Okay.
And so she'll have to come back for it later, but now her fly speed is 60 feet.
Okay.
So she will move forward.
Okay, so this turn that uses her action, right? But then obviously in the future. Okay, great. So moving her 60 feet will just sort of keep her tracking with her at this moment, and next round she's in for a surprise. All right, D20, please.
13.
13. All right, so no problems for Syl. Syl, what you doing?
Movement.
Yeah.
Bonus action to get.
She's 70 feet ahead of you. Yeah.
Okay, so movement, bonus action
Okay.
to get within 30.
Great. Within
Charm
10,
person.
but yes. Okay.
Charm
Go ahead
person.
and make me a Constitution saving throw. We'll start there.
8.
Okay, so you do have 1 level of exhaustion, which gives you disadvantage on ability checks.
Okay.
And then she's going to make a Wisdom save against your charm person, which I love.
Yeah.
Oofta. That is a 19.
Fuck. Yeah, I think
and
that saves.
She turns around and sees you and goes.
That's how she cast Charm Person.
Yeah. Which explains why it didn't work, I think. Amazing. Fantastic. Give me a D20, Syl.
4.
All right. Theron, you, my dear friend Theron. All right, let's see. 4.
Dice is in the corner.
Okay, fantastic. So this time it's just, as you're trying to follow her, you head down an alley that you know is going to be tough to get through. It's just a maze of barrels and crates and carts and that sort of things. So make me either a dexterity acrobatics, or I will also buy, your intelligence is not better, I don't think. So never mind. Yeah, so I'll take a dexterity acrobatics check from you, Theron, with advantage again.
Neither one's good.
Oh no, how bad though?
9.
Oh no, it's DC 10. Okay, so your move will also be at difficult terrain for one of your moves.
Okay, I'll use my dash for that to cancel it out. My first dash.
Great. Okay. So you've used your first dash, and like I said, you couldn't get a good bead on her anyway this round. You think that maybe you might be able to catch sight of her in the next round.
Are any of them within 60? Are any of my allies? I'm just trying to keep up with my allies at this point.
Who's the furthest behind ally? Is that Annie?
Probably.
Okay, so I think Annie probably is.
Okay. So I'm just trying to keep a beat on my allies at this point.
Totally. All right, that was Theron. Go ahead and roll me a d20.
That is a 5.
Okay.
We're so terrible.
I'm
at
so
this.
bad.
I've rolled
hating
5
this.
3 times now, so I'm just going to pick one. In fact, actually, Theron, why don't you roll me a d10?
Oh, D10. Okay.
Rolls a 5.
Please don't roll a 5.
That's a 3.
I was waiting for it.
Have we already done a
this is
3?
Annie again. We've already done this one. All right, we're just gonna do this. So you are running after her, Annie, and you get to a particularly slippery section of roof. The ice has just become this like sheet, and she sort of dodged around it, but you didn't see it there. So make me a dexterity saving throw.
What
Yep.
is she? Are we like chasing a wood elf monk?
Almost.
That's a 2.
Oh, God.
And you said I didn't see it though, right?
Because you have. No, you can use it. Sure,
Okay.
I'll be nice.
Okay. 11?
11 is enough. Okay, so you like step on it and absolutely start to slide, but you manage to use the momentum of your slide to propel you forward. So, what are you doing?
Yeah. Running all out still.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
Your con is half decent, right?
I think this would be my last dash.
Okay, great.
I think I've done 4. So
Fantastic.
I'm in counting. So yeah.
Okay.
I believe.
All right. So that was Annie. Roll me a d20.
9.
Ooh. Oofta. Okay.
I was doing so good setting it up for Rocky.
That's about the only reason I was keeping up with her.
Oh my. Okay. So Rocky, you leap over and you hit some shingles, some roof shingles, and they begin to give way, and you start to slide backwards. Make me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Let me pull up real fast. That is a 6.
Ooh, okay, so you scrabble, but you just can't get a hold, and you actually slide backwards 10 feet and fall prone. So that'll have one of your movements.
Fun. This is going great, guys.
Yeah, no, totally.
So good. We're so,
So
good
good.
at this.
So good.
Uh-huh.
The best detectives.
To be honest, a couple of you are keeping up better than I expected you to.
Oh, also, I'm out of dashes. Do I need to be doing some kind of other roll?
Oh, yeah. So what are you dashing this round? Because if
No,
so,
I'm out of dashes, but...
so if you want to continue to dash, you will have to make Constitution saving.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yep.
my bad.
Yeah, that's okay.
I guess I may as well to try and stand up and keep moving.
A little rough. Yeah. Okay, so go ahead and make me a Constitution saving throw.
Which is a 13.
That's enough. Okay. So you do not.
Oh, I
gain-
apologize. 11. I misspoke.
Oh, still enough. Just a DC
Okay,
10.
great.
You do not gain a level of exhaustion.
Yeah, you're not weak and puny and horrible like I am.
That's all right. We're all of our strengths. We're all of our strengths. So. Okay, so
All right.
I'll get up and I'll dash. So 20 feet and then another 40 feet.
Another 40. Okay, fantastic. So that's 60. So you're keeping pace with her, which is actually just fine. Okay, roll me a d20.
That one is an 8.
Okay. All right. So, this is fun. Okay. So, as she's running, she turns around because she hears you scrabbling on the rooftop and she sort of laughs. She does not see that she's about to run straight through a flock of nesting birds.
Yes.
So they all sort of explode up, these horrible pigeons, and she has to make a dexterity saving throw. But that is a 21. So she dodges around the flying feathers.
Even with the disadvantage?
Oh, it's ability checks.
Oh, ability
Yes.
checks. Dang it!
This is
darn
one
it.
of the few ones that's a saving throw. Most of them are ability checks, but that one's a
Snuck by on that one.
I did make her strength athletics check with disadvantage though, a couple of rounds ago, whenever that was. Okay, so she is going to roll, and that is a 12, so no problem there for Hasha.
Okay, so I believe Hasha was 10 feet behind.
I believe that is true.
Okay, so if she moves 60, she'll basically just keep pace.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so she will turn invisible and then move 60.
Fantastic. I love that. Okay. Roll a d20, Hasha.
7.
Oh my
7.
God.
All right. Well, I'm going to pretend it's this one then. Still. Oh, dear.
What check do I have to roll with disadvantage?
Hilarious. Okay. So Syl, you are running and you're like, I know, I'll go a different way to try and cut her off.
No.
But unfortunately, you run on a rooftop of a particularly clever and apparently either intelligent or somewhat wealthy homeowner who has placed a glyph of warding on their rooftop to discourage burglars. So I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw, please. Fortunately, it's not the explosive rune, but...
That is awesome.
Wisdom saving throw?
A wisdom saving throw, per favore.
12.
Oh, it's DC 13. Okay. So you all... Oh, this is fantastic. You all watch as Syl steps and this glyph underneath her flares to life, and she just stops and looks around and falls to the ground laughing. You are under the effects of Tasha's hideous laughter for the next minute.
For the next minute?
Wow.
Are you kidding me? Oh my god!
Yeah.
I'm gonna go get some milk.
Yeah.
Roll that 20 for me.
Wait, roll the 20.
Yeah, wait, roll a 20 before you leave.
15.
All right, so nothing happens to Theron.
Finally, for Theron.
All right, Theron, you amazingly find a clear patch of alleyway to chase her.
Oh, this thing exists in Waterdeep. Okay. I am just gonna I'm gonna dash to keep up with Annie, or who?
Okay.
Because
yes. To keep an eye on Annie, absolutely.
I just want to keep up with my friends so I know where they are for when. And then as I run by, I just kind of like, why is Sid laughing?
Fantastic, I love it. Roll me that d20.
That is a 15.
15. Okay, so no problems for whoever's next, which is Annie. Oh, right.
Running.
Running. Are you dashing?
Yeah.
All right, Constitution save because you're out, right?
Totally fine, because that's
Great.
16 plus 4, so
yeah,
I'm good.
absolutely fine. Yeah, totally. Okay. I just want to make sure. Yes, great. Okay. All right, D20 for me.
16.
16. Okay, so no problems for Rocky.
Shame.
Yeah.
Nice cookie.
We all need some cookies.
I want a cookie. Rocky, you're up. No complications for you this round. Congratulations.
Okay, yeah, I'll move and try to dash again.
Okay, give me a Constitution saving throw.
That one is a 18 this time.
18. Okay, no problem there. You dash. This time you close the gap a little bit on her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So if she's moving 60 and I'm moving 80, I think I actually catch up to her, right?
Oh, great. Yes, even with the 10 feet that you slid back last time, yes, I do think that is correct.
Okay. Cool, but I have no actions left, so
Correct.
next.
All right, D20.
Nice. How about a 19?
A 19. Okay, so no problems for her. As she runs forward and she puts on another burst of speed. She can only do this twice. She puts on another burst of speed, makes it 90 feet ahead, and drops down into the alleyway off of the rooftops and down into the alleys. All right, so let's see if anything comes up for Hasha. It does not. So Hasha, go ahead and take your turn.
Hasha will use her third dash to move 120 feet to catch completely up.
Absolutely. So completely up, and in that, Hasha is able to watch her sort of duck around a corner onto sort of a main thoroughfare in this area.
Okay. 6 for the next person.
Oh, well, Syl's still laughing.
Yes,
she's not going to run into any problems.
No, she's
technically, as per Tasha City's laughter, you can make a save at the end of each of your turns. So you can go ahead and make another wisdom saving throw. Oh no! How'd you do?
9.
Burn those dice.
That laughing that we're all doing, that's what Syl's doing.
No, crying inside. Crying inside.
What was that roll though, Hasha?
A 6.
Okay. Oh, have we? I think we've done all of them. Somehow you all have managed to hit every single. Oh no, there's one more. Okay,
Oh,
so this is gonna be. All right, so oh, wait a minute. Oh, we're on Theron. So it's a different one. That's the fighting dogs. We'll do something else. Oh, okay. So you, Theron, as you are running, you run into a particularly determined beggar who is determined to get some coin out of you before he lets you pass. So you can either make a strength athletics, dexterity acrobatics, or charisma intimidation check, or
I toss him a dragon.
Toss him some coin. There you go.
One whole dragon.
Great, and
I
he
honestly
moves out of the way,
stab
and
him.
you don't have to make any checks.
Somebody go back and get a shitload of dimes.
Yeah, right. Oh my god, amazing. Okay, so he moves right out of your way, absolutely no problem. And you carry on.
I keep going.
All right, roll me a d20.
Oh gosh, why 11?
11. Okay, so Annie, you are up.
Running, last place I saw her. So,
Dashy.
yep, dashy. So, Constitution
save.
saving throw, and it's a 7.
It's a 7. All right, Rocky. We'll do the one, but now we'll do the one that we haven't done yet. And then we'll see what happens after that. But you come to a 10-foot wide gap between rooftops. What is your strength?
It's a 16.
Oh, so you can actually jump across this without any problem. Boring.
At least it was boring until the roof started to stretch, right? And it got longer.
Yeah,
and
exactly. And then you just, yeah, exactly. No. All right, so you can jump across without any problem. Okay, so you were the other one that was pretty you had caught up to her, yeah? So are you dashing again?
I mean, I've got to try.
Okay, do it. Constitution save.
Ooh, that one's a 6 on the Constitution save, though.
Ooh, it's a level of exhaustion.
Okay.
But that's okay. It's your first, so it's just disadvantage on ability checks.
Right. Do I still get to dash, or does that keep me from
No,
doing that?
yes, you absolutely get to dash still.
Okay.
So
Cool.
you do manage to dash. You see where she jumps down off of the rooftops. So you can jump down, and you also, along with Hasha, although you're a little behind Hasha, but you can see her turn a corner onto sort of a main street there in the trades ward.
Yeah. Okay. I'll keep up with her as best I can.
All right. So at this point, the rest of you, Annie, at some point you're going to come upon Syl, who's just lying out flat on the rooftop laughing. So you can collect her.
Yeah, she would.
You two and Theron continue to chase these down. Hasha and Rocky, the two of you are able to follow her, but as she turns on to sort of the main busy thoroughfare, it becomes harder for just a moment to track her. So why don't the two of you make me wisdom perception checks with disadvantage because of the storm?
Does Ani just have me on her shoulder as I'm giggling?
I imagine so, until you stop giggling, yes. How were those checks, gentlemen?
6, 7.
14.
Good.
Yeah. It's an 8 because of the disadvantage.
Really good. Okay, so you
Wait,
do...
I can't lose her.
No, I know.
Oh,
This is
okay.
just for the two of them at the moment, yeah. So the two of you do lose sight of her for the moment, which allows her to sort of get away. But as your other three companions catch up to you all, Syl finishes giggling, and finally the effects sort of wear off. Theron, you're able to pinpoint her location and where she's headed. And she has, in fact... Hold, please. You sort of look around and you hone in on this mental link that you have with her, and she has, as far as you can tell, she's headed into a local theater here in the Trades Ward called the Brisen Bright. And she has apparently raced inside of the Brisen Bright. And that is where she is currently hiding out from you, and that is where we are going to leave it for this week.
Okay.
That's
Anyone want to go to the theater?
Really well done. We got through quite a bit of this little chain as things are heating up and getting pretty exciting here now that you're on the tail of the Stone of Golorr. All right, let's go around and once again introduce ourselves. Let everybody know where they can find you on the interwebs and what your favorite moment of tonight was. And I think we'll go in reverse order, which means starting with Alex.
My name is Alexander Gaston. You can find me on Twitter at Crit Charisma, or you can find me on Instagram and Twitch at Howldaggers. Favorite part of tonight would be Eugenio torturing us.
Now, I merely tell you what the dice tell me and what the characters do. They have a life of their own.
I'm gonna sorrow eat after this. I'm just gonna. I was so close.
So close. Really good. I love it. Max.
Hi, I'm Max. I'll max D20 at any place you can find, and I'm a regular here on Variant Rolls. My favorite part of the night was, I think, this whole chase chart. I love it so much. I just hate that we went all the way through it by rolling horribly.
It was well timed. You managed to get to the end of it right as the chase ended. It was really good. Steven.
Hi, I'm Stephen Rowe. My Twitter handle is @RightRowe. And I would say my favorite part of the night was when Summer Theron had finger firework guns and like leaping down the stairs. That was just a fantastic.
Absolutely. Jonathan.
Hey, I'm Jonathan. You can find me at Red Hand Roleplay, actual play podcast on Twitter and Podbean and all that stuff. I think my favorite part of the night was the breakout star of Milk. I think
Yes.
it's Alex yelling, "I'm gonna get some milk," and just walking down.
My
This is
rage.
top-notch
Like, I'm gonna
timing.
get some milk.
Yeah,
Really
yeah,
choice.
yeah.
I meant
Really
to say
choice.
cookies, but I was so mad.
I love it. Last but most certainly not least, Allison.
Yes, you can find me on Twitter at Letica05 and also with Red Hand Roleplay. New episode dropping this week. Really exciting. Definitely take a listen to it. Favorite moment of tonight was summoning Hasha, finally.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, finally.
With that extra ceremony. I love it. And I am Eugenio Vargas, also known as your friendly neighborhood dungeon master, DM Jazzy Hands from the Actual Play podcast, The Last Refuge. I have to go finish editing an episode so that I can release it early to our patrons for this month, and then so that the rest of you can hear it on Wednesday.
Don't forget
DM
about Steven.
Last Refuge. Steven?
Oh, no, I went.
You went?
Mm?
Yes. I didn't
been-
forget.
I've
I
been-
did my brain
was my
bump.
finger
Thanks for
guns.
looking out for me, though.
I'm milk drunk. Sorry.
What was I saying? Episodes, go check out my podcast because it's super fun.
It is.
Oh, thanks.
I'm a fan.
Cool. So a few things. I was reminded that the schedule that I laid out for you all for this week is a little altered due to a couple of things. So the summer crew on Fridays will not be streaming this week because Taryn, their illustrious dungeon master, is going to be with me at PAX Unplugged in Philadelphia. So if you're going to be at PAX Unplugged, come say hi. I know several of us are going to be there and would love to say hello and meet you all in person. But so there will be no summer crew this week. And then the autumn crew, which normally plays on Thursday nights, is going to be playing on Sunday this week. So do keep an eye on the Variant Rolls Twitter at Variant Rolls and all of that to make sure that you are ready for the correct times for streams this week because they are a little moved around. Speaking of the Variant Rolls Twitter and keeping an eye, another great way to be notified when someone starts streaming is to subscribe or to follow this channel here on Twitch. You should do that if you are so inclined. We would also appreciate a subscription, a sub here on Twitch. You can go to YouTube and follow the channel there where we put up all the videos once we're done. I'm gonna see if I'm allowed to announce something. Hey, Dan, if you're watching, get in the Discord chat real quick so that I can ask you if I'm allowed to announce this.
And for the next
In the meantime,
10
we're going to
seconds.
RP a little bit.
No.
Done.
RP the feels.
We missed out on the feels this round. So.
Cool.
I
just got
felt
to go
something
ahead.
in the back of my head.
I just got the go-ahead to announce that all of the Waterdeep Dragon Heist streams are going to, it might take a little while, but they're all going to be eventually released as audio podcasts that will be available as well for those of you who are like me and have a really hard time being able to watch streams even after the fact. So they will be available as audio podcasts. We don't have an exact date yet, but that is a thing that we're doing because we really want to get this content out there to all of you who are watching and all of your friends who are being stubborn and not watching. So keep an eye on the Twitters for exact dates on that when that comes around too, but that's an exciting announcement that we have for this week. All right, what have I missed? Subscribe and follow the channel here. Go to YouTube and subscribe to the channel there. Follow us all on Twitter and chat with us throughout the week because we talk about this show all the time and we would love to include you in the conversation. If you're going to be at PAX Unplugged, let me and Taryn from the Autumn crew know because we'd love to, so in the Summer crew know because we'd love to say hi to you in Philly this weekend. And I think that's it. Did I miss anything? No?
Got it.
Great. All right. Thank you all for watching. Can't wait to see you next week. We will be here on Monday night again, 7:30 Eastern, to continue on this chase into the theater to try and get hands on the Stone of Golorr. This was an exciting session. I really had a great time. Thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you next week. Happy gaming.